From improvised comedy gold to genuine babbling blunders, these bloopers had us sticking around and laughing hysterically during the credits. Following his star-making debut on Saturday Night Live in the 1980s, Eddie Murphy went on to have a fruitful career in comedies, with notable hits like Beverly Hills Cop and Trading Places. In 1996, he continued that golden streak with The Nutty Professor, a remake of the 1963 classic starring Jerry Lewis. Murphy plays Sherman Klump, a morbidly obese man who, in a Jekyll and Hyde-esque science experiment, transforms himself into the overconfident Buddy Love in order to win over the woman of his dreams. As he does in a number of his films, Murphy takes on several roles throughout the film, including other members of the Klump family. This results in a couple of wild family dinner sequences that are as funny as they are chaotic. However, the true hilarity of this scene is best shown in the end credits outtakes, which depict Murphy breaking character as he tries to perform each part. Scored to the song Macho Man by The Village People, the bloopers feature a number of fart jokes that make Eddie and the rest of the cast and crew break down into fits of laughter. When you manage to get Jim Carrey to be the face of your studio comedy, it's usually best just to let him go wild on camera. The comedian is known for his over-the-top improvisations in films like Dumb and Dumber and The Truman Show, a talent that's on full display during the end credits blooper reel of Liar Liar. Released in 1997, Liar Liar stars Carrey as an ethically challenged lawyer whose son wishes for him to be forced to tell the truth for one day. It provides lots of great opportunities for Carrey to shine with physical comedy, including an iconic scene in which he beats himself up in a bathroom. The bloopers at the end of Liar Liar reveal just how much fun it was for everyone else on set to be a witness to Carrey's brilliance. His improvisations never fail to get the crew to burst out into hysterical laughter. He's an outstanding comedic presence on screen, as well as a charismatic leading man.
No, wait! I didn't understand.
Hollywood was positive about Carrey's work in the film too, and he scored a Golden Globe nomination for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Comedy. In a true display of his range, Carrey also ended up with a Globe the following year for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama for The Truman Show. In 2022, Tim Allen reprised his role as Scott Calvin, a family man who inherits the role of Santa Claus in the Disney Plus series The Santa Clauses. However, the story first began in 1994 with The Santa Claus and was then followed up with two sequels, one in 2002 and another in 2006. The final installment of the trilogy, The Santa Claus 3: The Escape Clause, finds Scott desperate to reclaim his position as Santa after mischief caused by Jack Frost causes him to lose his job. Frost is played by comedy legend Martin Short in the film, and during the end credits bloopers, audiences can see the magic that resulted from having two comedic icons on the screen at the same time. Although The Santa Claus 3 was a critical failure, it performed decently at the box office. Regardless, it remains a beloved series set around a joyous holiday, with the end credits bloopers showcasing a similar kind of fun that was had on set.
Is my acting somehow humorous to you?
Although many moviegoers know Zach Galifianakis for his appearances in films like The Hangover and Due Date, those who follow him online are familiar with a different side of the comedian. His comedy talk show Between Two Ferns debuted on Funny or Die in 2008, featuring high-profile guests ranging from Brad Pitt to Barack Obama. When it was announced that Between Two Ferns would make the jump to feature-length comedy, many fans of the series were puzzled as to how it would work as a longer story. Nonetheless, Between Two Ferns the movie premiered on Netflix in 2019 and saw Galifianakis play a fictional version of himself as he interviews celebrities and tries to keep his show alive. Featuring cameos from celebrities like Brie Larson, Keanu Reeves, and Benedict Cumberbatch, the film was subject to decent reviews and compared to some of the more watchable Saturday Night Live spin-offs. Of course, one of the best parts comes during the end credits, when we see some of the takes that didn't make it into the final cut. Given that Between Two Ferns bloopers are hard to come by, to the point that it's not always clear whether Galifianakis is being serious or making a joke, it makes for a heartwarming ending to see Galifianakis break character in between insults. It seems like everyone involved had a blast making the movie, especially Paul Rudd, whose improvisations turned Galifianakis red-faced and hysterical.
Oh, James Franco wears corrective lenses.
Will Ferrell's movies were some of the best studio comedies throughout the early 2000s. Hot off of Saturday Night Live, Ferrell starred in critically acclaimed comedies like Elf, Zoolander, and Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. His films also often contain end credits blooper reels, like the first Anchorman movie, which feature Ferrell making his castmates break during improvised scenes. Following the success of his earlier films, Ferrell teamed up with actor John C. Reilly in 2006's Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, a spiritual successor to Anchorman centered on the world of race car driving. Ferrell plays the titular Ricky Bobby, a NASCAR celebrity whose life is derailed after he is outshone by a new driver played by Sacha Baron Cohen. The rest of the supporting cast includes Amy Adams, Michael Clark Duncan, and Jane Lynch, but this movie's blooper reel puts the spotlight mostly on Ferrell and Reilly.
98% of us will die at some point in our lives.
The darkness is creeping towards you, whether you know it or not.
The two comics bounce off each other easily during outtakes of a dinner party scene and make each other break during chaotic scenes. It's no wonder they reunited to make Step Brothers 2 years later. Rush Hour was released in 1998, sparking a multi-million-dollar franchise led by actor star Jackie Chan and comedian Chris Tucker. The two play an unlikely pair of cops tasked with rescuing the kidnapped daughter of a Chinese politician. This film is as thrilling as it is hilarious, and audiences loved it so much that they kept coming back for sequels. Part of what made the Rush Hour films such amazing theater-going experiences, besides the appeal of the movies themselves, were the end credits blooper reels. Each of the 3 installments in the Rush Hour franchise includes a number of outtakes that are shown off as the credits roll. They're excellent showcases of Chan's charisma on set, as he never misses an opportunity to be a true entertainer.
Anything goes wrong, you bust in there and act like you are LAP, la la.
He cannot speak English.
Tucker is also a highlight of the Rush Hour bloopers, even as he rarely breaks character. Though Chan and Tucker may have seemed like an odd pair before the release of Rush Hour, these end credits prove that they're actually a match made in heaven. A more recent film that showcases some quality bloopers is the 2022 Paramount Plus original film Honor Society. This movie stars Gary Rice as Honor Rose, a Type A student determined to get her advisor's recommendation to Harvard while competing with her classmate Michael, played by Gaten Matarazzo of Stranger Things fame. Her initial plan to seduce him as a distraction from his studies goes awry when the two actually fall for each other, imbuing this comedy with tons of heart and tension. However, Honor Society goes down a dark path towards the end, as it's revealed that Michael had been manipulating Honor the entire time in an effort to secure the recommendation for himself. Honor eventually one-ups Michael by securing it instead for her friend Kennedy, prioritizing her friendships over both romance and her own academic success. Nevertheless, the film closes out with an end credits blooper reel that leaves audiences remembering the film's fun rather than its darker aspects. Though it doesn't feature as many outtakes or improvisational moments from its cast, this kind of end credits reel showcases the chemistry between the film's actors, particularly Rice and Matarazzo as its leads. Few end credits blooper reels are as notable as the one shown in the 1979 film Being There, directed by Hal Ashby of Harold and Maude fame. This classic film stars Peter Sellers as an oblivious gardener who ends up becoming a political power player after meeting a rich couple played by Melvin Douglas and Shirley MacLaine. The film was one of Sellers' biggest hits and garnered numerous award nominations and wins, including a Golden Globe win for Sellers and a Best Supporting Actor Academy Award for Douglas. Though it was more uncommon at the time, Being There ends with a blooper reel of a single scene as the credits roll. We see Sellers struggle to keep a straight face as he dryly quotes a man who threatened him at knife point earlier on.
What was the message, Mr. Gardner?
Now get this honky.
Even though Sellers was seemingly a shoo-in for Best Actor at the Oscars that year, the category would eventually be won by Dustin Hoffman for his performance in Kramer vs. Kramer. According to Douglas's granddaughter, Sellers felt the end credits blooper cost him the award, revealing his brilliant performance in the film as exactly that, a performance. This Is 40, written and directed by Judd Apatow, also features a single scene's outtakes over its end credits. The 2012 comedy mostly centers on Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann reprising their roles of Pete and Debbie from Apatow's Knocked Up as they grapple with parenthood, relationship issues, and their careers. This Is 40 also features an incredibly robust supporting cast including Megan Fox, John Lithgow, Jason Segel, Lena Dunham, and Chris O'Dowd. But one particular star shines the brightest. That would be Melissa McCarthy, who in 2012 was rolling on the huge success of Bridesmaids, which was released the previous year. In This Is 40, she plays Catherine, a fellow parent at Pete and Debbie's children's school who files a complaint with the principal for their daughter's behavior. In the outtakes, McCarthy goes on a rampaging improvisation about her violent urges toward the two stoic parents, which causes Rudd and Mann to break character several times.
I would like to rear up and jackknife my legs and kick you both in the jaw with my foot bone.
It's no wonder McCarthy became such a Hollywood comedy staple in the years that followed. Her appearance in This Is 40 was a precursor to her reign in studio comedies throughout the 2010s, including Identity Thief, The Heat, and Spy. Horrible Bosses features a powerful sampling of comedic talent. The 2011 film centers on a group of three friends, played by Jason Sudeikis, Jason Bateman, and Charlie Day, whose frustrations with their inept, sociopathic, and sadistic bosses result in them planning to murder their superiors. The movie is not only hilarious, but a surprisingly thrilling comedic romp involving murder, espionage, and life-or-death stakes. Given the number of stars and laughs involved, it's no wonder that this film ends with a blooper reel over the credits. The hilarious chemistry between Sudeikis, Bateman, and Day is on full display as they make each other break down laughing. Another highlight includes Colin Farrell's hilarious improvisations with a deadpan pharmacist, a scene that didn't make the film's final cut. Viewers found the blooper reel so entertaining that one was included again in the film's sequel, Horrible Bosses 2, which also introduced the talents of Chris Pine and Christoph Waltz. Pixar earned its place in movie history with a string of hits starting with Toy Story in 1995. That was quickly followed up with A Bug's Life in 1998 and Toy Story 2 in 1999. In 2001, the studio would entrust Pete Docter to direct his first of many Pixar films with Monsters, Inc., which takes place in a world where monsters harvest children's screams in order to fuel their city. The film thrives due to its likable characters, with its two leads, Sully and Mike, voiced by John Goodman and Billy Crystal respectively. Pixar's animated blooper tradition began with A Bug's Life, but Monsters, Inc. was the last of their productions to be released with them in the credits. However, unlike the other movies on this list, Pixar outtakes aren't genuine mistakes.
Go ahead. Go throw up. What? What did I say? What?
The outtakes of Monsters, Inc. that play through the credits are fully animated and voice acted, including a Toy Story cameo and several scenes from the company play Put That Thing Back, Where It Came From, or So Help Me. This tradition, as brief as it was, made Pixar's characters even more lovable than they already are.